A school library allows students to borrow laptops. A computer program is used to count the number of times a particular laptop has been borrowed from the library. Borrows and the number of times that the same laptop has been returned to the library. Returns. Which of the following indicate that a particular laptop is not currently borrowed? Select two answers. So, if a computer program counts the number of borrows and the number of returns, assuming that the laptop starts off in the library, meaning it hasn't been borrowed yet, that means the number of borrows and the number of returns, if they equal each other, that means that the laptop is currently not being borrowed, because for every time it was borrowed, it was returned. So let's use an example. So if, say, the laptop was borrowed one time, and then after it was borrowed, it was returned. That means the number of borrows is 1 and the number of returns is 1. Now, if another student borrows it, then the number of borrows becomes 2, and then that student returns it, the number of borrows becomes, the returns becomes 2. So when the numbers match up, the borrows and the returns, that means that every time it has been borrowed, it has been returned afterwards. So when the numbers match up, it means that the computer is currently not being borrowed. It is in the library. So what that means is when the difference between borrows and returns is 0, that means the computer is currently not being borrowed. So A is the correct answer choice because it explains that the difference between borrows and returns is 0. Because when the difference between the borrows and returns is 0, that means the two numbers equal each other. So every time the computer was borrowed, it was returned. And so currently the computer is not being borrowed. So A is the correct answer.